Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette, and joining me today is Connie. Did I say it right?
You did.
How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, yes, definitely. So, Connie, where about are you and what is it that you do and how do you do it?
Yeah, so I live in St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States, like really kind of in the middle of the United States. And I am a frequency wellness practitioner and an NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming master coach. So it's like the art and the science of the unconscious mind. So I help people get what they say they want with different strategies using the mind and frequencies.
Oh, that's so cool. So, did you always wanted to do the work that you're doing now, or did it change over time?
It definitely changed over time when I grew. Well, I was always attracted to music. I started playing the piano and singing when I was 5. I started teaching piano and voice when I was 13. And I did that for like 25 years. And my mom always would say she could tell what mood I was in based on the music I was playing because I also compose music. So
Mhm.
I've always been drawn to music as an expression. So, and I've always been deeply spiritual, knowing there's more than what meets the eye. Like we're not seeing everything, right?
Yeah.
And so as my life journey progressed, I have had circumstances where I've gotten to rise above them and needed tools to do that. So now I use the tools that help me get where I'm at to
Yeah.
help others. So, and frequency was a natural fit for me.
Mhm.
And honestly, the work I have done with frequencies, it saved my life. So, yeah, I have a heart for that. So I've been doing that since 2020.
That's incredible. Let now we got to speak frequency language. Okay. The typical person will know what that means. I'm pretty open to the spiritual realm and I would understand what that means. What does it mean? Let's say people are watching this, they have no clue what it is. How do you tap into frequencies?
Well, frequencies are everywhere. So so I come from a frame of reference where I believe God spoke the world into existence, and that was a frequency. And so they're just now getting to the science where they can actually measure what it is. So it's actually measured in hertz, so they can measure it. And so Einstein said the future of medicine is in frequencies. And Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and coherence, right? So they've now identified what, like, the quote, perfect frequencies are for all parts of our body. And we're not just a body. We have a body and we also have a field, like an energetic field. And again, with the advances in science, they could detect that. We've been using EKGs and EEGs to detect brain patterns and heart patterns, right? Those are frequencies. And so what I work with is that it detects your frequency blueprint because everybody has a frequency blueprint
Yeah.
that's unique to them.
Yeah.
And so it looks at the frequency of what I'm emitting,
Mhm.
and then it'll compare it to how are we designed, because when our bodies naturally will regenerate, and there's a blueprint. Well, they now know what that blueprint is. So it'll look at, okay, here's Connie over here, vibrating over here, doing her thing. And then here's that divine blueprint that is total health. And the software that I work with knows what custom frequencies to send to me, so it'll bring me back into alignment. So that's the kind of work that I do. That's part of the work that I do,
Yeah.
to bring people's frequency back into their most highest coherent state.
Yeah.
And life just works better, like when we're in alignment with how we're designed.
That's so cool. Talk to us more about misalignment. I'm pretty sure I've been off the rail on and off. What?
Well, and you can
Yeah,
feel
what?
it, right?
I can. Yeah, yeah. Talk to us
Yeah.
about that.
So that's where this I call it dis-ease, because we're out of ease.
Mm.
That's where disease starts. So it actually starts not even in our body. So I was talking to you, we have a biofield. So in our biofield, that's where our emotional body is, and then our mental body and our spiritual body. And that goes out about 8 to 12 feet. So first, when there's something that's just not setting right, and it could be from so many different things. It could be from our thoughts that we think, the emotions that are harming us. It could be from the air that we breathe. You know, unfortunately, we live in a more and more toxic environment. So the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, you know, can easily get us out of misalignment, right? And so when dis-ease comes into the body, first it comes into the field. So it enters the spiritual body. Then it goes into, and if it's not balanced and resolved, guess what? Then it goes into the mental body. And again, you kind of feel something's off, right? And then it's in a mental body. And then it go, if it's not resolved there and optimized and balanced, then it goes into the emotional body. And then guess what happens? It gets into our physical body. It's the most dense part of who we are.
Yeah.
And then when dis-ease leaves, it goes out the same way. So that's why there's a lot of reoccurring people get sick, like, and then they get sick again, and it comes back because it hasn't been cleared in the field, and so it comes back into the body for us to pay attention and resolve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. I'm constant spiritual stuff like this. Yesterday I was watching something and it was mentioned that about what you just talked about, the different layers of the body. I'm like, wait a minute, I only see one person in the mirror. Why and how is there so many layers to anybody, to who I am as a person?
Well, and most people are familiar with, like, for example, dogs can hear things that we cannot hear.
Yes.
And so the auditory spectrum, which is all frequencies,
Yeah.
the visual spectrum, same thing. You know, we know about infrared light, but we cannot see. Our eyes don't have the capacity to see infrared light.
Yeah.
And so it's, we have this vehicle, called our body, that we go through life with. And we are only getting actually a very small fraction of what's actually around.
Mm.
And so it's an emerging, quantum physics is an emerging science that they're just, and even quantum physicists will tell you, we don't know everything still because it's literally the unseen, the unheard. However, you could feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
You could feel it
definitely.
when
Yeah.
something's not quite off. And,
Yeah.
and you can tell, like, when you walk into a room and the room is like, if there's a lot of low frequency energy there, you could just kind of feel your whole spirit kind of sinks. And the great thing is that we can impact that. Like, you could be the one that walks into the room and raises the frequency,
Yeah.
or you could allow yourself to go down. So
Yeah.
our environment is really important. Like, who we surround ourselves with and who we let in our field makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And would the field that you're describing connect with the aura, the auric field?
Yes, it is the auric field. So there's
Oh, it
different
is. Okay.
names.
Yeah.
So some people refer to it as aura. Some people refer to it as a biofield. Some people refer to as their energy body, and it's all intertwined. It's the same thing.
Okay.
And I would say, so, like, I am totally, like, I'm a woo girl. I love all the woo. However, the more I get into this study, there is so much science that backs it up. And so people can, like, won't put it over, like, oh, that's too woo and that's not right and that's not godly. And it's so funny because, like, literally, a lot of religious people believe that God spoke the universe into existence.
Yeah.
What was that? That
Mm.
was the frequency of it. Like, everything exists in the field before it exists in the physical.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And another thing that often I think very religious people miss out is God gave us the same power that He has.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and people want to skip over the verse that Christ says, "These things I do, you shall do, and greater."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
we're doing it, they call us witch. So I don't
I know.
know.
I went to a class reunion, and I actually had a classmate ask me if I was a witch, and I was like, I don't think so. That's not what I would say. No, like, in fact, so what I think that I do, because everything goes back into the divine, I call it the divine blueprint. Like he says, we're made in his image. No one could ever tell me what that looked like, Bernadette. Like, I would ask,
Mm.
like, what does that mean? I'm in his image. And now my understanding is there's a divine blueprint that which we are modeled after, which is total perfect health in all parts of our being.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So my heart was made in the image of the perfection of how God designed our heart to be. And when it's out of balance and it's out of sync, it's not vibrating at the right frequency, there are now tools available that can gently bring your all parts of our physical and our field back into coherence.
Yeah.
And and profound changes can happen. I mean, when I found this technology, I was in a wheelchair after my son passed,
Mm,
and this technology saved my life.
yeah.
You know, when nothing else was working. Like I tried, I was on 6 medications. I was seeing the medical doctors. I was going to counseling. I was going to physical therapy. I was doing all the things that traditional people are telling me to do. And guess what? It made no difference. I was still in a wheelchair.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I'm like all in. I believe it. I see it. I live it. I'm so grateful. Um, yeah, and it really it's I feel more in alignment with God
mm,
because of the work that I do, because I'm always being brought back into balance and in his design. Like to me, that's the one of the greatest things I could strive for as my soul is to be in alignment with the creator. Like what else? Like, you know, that's my view. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I agree. And the work that you do, it's so important because it's not something that every science experiment can actually explain. I mean,
Right.
people know that the soul exists. Can they touch it? Can they dissect it? It depends on them. But the
Right.
body can be hurt. No one can hurt the soul.
Right. It's
Yeah,
eternal. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Talk to us more about how to regulate the nervous system. I'm pretty sure mine went in shock years ago, and I just keep getting little aftershocks. So how do we calm ourselves and go through life?
Yeah, so most people's nervous system is dysregulated. And it's really a matter of like you're gonna even people who are aware of strategies to help balance their nervous system, still things will happen because life happens, right? And so there's a lot of different strategies you could use. It's a really about to me, I look at it as like a resilience exercise. Like so I'm gonna go out of regulation. It's just gonna happen. Things are gonna happen. I'm gonna get a phone call. Like stuff happens, right? And the game I play is like, well, how fast can I get back into regulation, right?
Mm,
And so I use different things. Like, you know, I will run a scan and bring me like it'll bring me back like just so that my field is back into coherence. So it um, pulls me into that faster. Also, there's very simple things you can do like humming. Like humming helps with the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is like the most important nerve in the body. It touches like
yeah.
all the major organs and like helps calm us down, puts us into regulation. So simple things like breathing, like when you're breathing, if you exhale longer than your inhale, after a minute of there's different breathe, like some people say breathe in 4, hold 4, breathe out 4, hold 4. Like there's box that's called box breathing. There's other breathing methods where you breathe in for 4 and then blow out for 8. But what the science that I've seen is like if your exhale is longer than your inhale,
Mm,
that moments later that'll help calm the nervous system. And that's something you could do literally anywhere, and it's free. You know, like, and I said humming. So our software will give you tones that'll help bring you back into balance. And so what I like to do is I hum along with those tones, so it's like really resonating in
mm,
my body and in the field. That's my favorite. Of course, as a musician, that's, you know, I
yeah,
tend to
yeah,
want to do. And singing is so great. Like, and who cares if you're on pitch? But singing will
mm,
also help with that vagal tone, vagal nerve.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Yeah. I think people are afraid of singing. I sing for fun. I don't care who likes it, don't like it. It's just how it makes me feel. And I
Exactly. Well, and I will tell you, like I said, I made a living as a musician, performing and teaching piano and voice from age 13 to 38 was how I that was my sole source of income.
Mm,
And so that was like I embodied as a like I know myself as a musician. And after my son went to heaven in 2020, I literally could not sing for 3 years.
wow.
Like I couldn't my voice I couldn't sing.
Mm,
And it was like one of the sad after effects of what that happened, and I'm so grateful I have my voice back. So for people who have the capacity to sing, like you said, do it for yourself, because there's so many health benefits just for singing. Like, and who cares what it sounds like, you know?
yeah, yeah,
my
definitely.
mom used to say, my mom used to say scripture says make a joyful noise. It didn't say like noise, because you know up to the 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 listener. Like, sometimes she said, sometimes it's more joyful, sometimes it's more noise.
Yeah, yeah, it's medicine for the soul. So I always tell
Truly.
people go for it. Go for it. Yeah. So have you been able to connect with your son?
I do. I'm so, so blessed. I actually hear him in my left ear. So
Oh,
he had a massive heart attack at age 18, totally healthy. It took 6 months to get the autopsy back. They came back and said, we don't know what happened. It was March 16th, 2020. And in the United States and probably most of the world, that's when like COVID shut down the world. And our church shut down, the schools shut down, businesses shut down. And that was the morning he dropped. And it was like, what's going on? What happened? He was like normal morning and getting ready to go. It was his first day of spring break. Everything, he was going to go to his job. He was an IT director, brilliant young man, and he was gone just like literally by the time he hit the ground. And it was, I was so like, he was my miracle child, and so it was like devastation does not even come close to what it was happening. So the first day I was literally numb, like my brain could not compute. The very next day I woke up and I was so angry, Bernadette, and I was screaming like, God, like, why would you give me this miracle child only to take him away? He was getting ready to graduate. He was an Eagle Scout within the Boy Scout community. I mean, he was an amazing young man. And I'm like, I don't understand. I do not understand. And what I heard was, you could still connect with him. Keep your frequency high. And at that point, I did not know what I know now about frequencies. But what I heard was keep your frequency high, because now his soul is at a much higher level, higher frequency.
yeah.
And if you keep your frequency high, it'll be easier for you to communicate with him. And so I started studying like what can do this. So like pineapple, did you know that pineapple is the highest frequency food you can
No,
eat?
that's so
Yeah.
cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eating pineapple helps. Roses are the highest frequency flowers. Rose oil. So I anoint myself with rose oil every day and frankincense, because that will help also like help your frequency rise.
Yeah.
And it took a minute for him to appear to me in my dreams, but he came into my dreams and said humanity is facing the largest battle that it's ever faced. And they needed me and they called me up, and you're the strongest person I know, Mom, and I thought you'd be okay, and I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
And but the day after he went to heaven, I did connect with him, because so the other thing I heard was, so I would, and I don't know why I did this. So I'm a Reiki master, and so I was always very in tune with energy, and so I would always, and I don't know who taught me this, but I just intuitively I would run energy between our hearts because it's so powerful, and it would be in an infinity motion. And
Mhm.
so God told me you could still connect with him through your heart. And so I just started running energy between me and I didn't know where he was. I just knew he was not physically here anymore. And I trusted that he was in a heavenly realm. And so I just ran the energy between our hearts, and all of a sudden I could kind of sense where he was.
Wow.
And at that point I had peace. Like I miss him terribly, and he's doing great. So I was like, okay, he's doing good. Now I just have to, like, how do I like cope
Yeah.
and move forward without, like, really he was the love of my life.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
and so like how do I make this work now? And so then it's just been this inquiry of and like I said, about 5 months later, throughout that time I ended up in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
And one of my dear friends called and said, I know you're not doing well, because I didn't want to be here, Bernadette.
Mm.
Nicholas was my miracle child. He was my world. And everything I was doing, the business I was building, everything I was doing was for him and with him and all the things.
Yeah.
And I was like, so why? Like why am I still here? And a friend of mine called and said, hey, they're releasing this new software. It was a $38,000 device. They're looking for beta testers. I know you're not doing good. Like I said, I was in a wheelchair. My knees and my back had all kinds of diagnoses,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to be here. And I had two very sick parents who needed me. So I had to figure out something. Like, you better figure it out, girl.
Yeah.
And prayed, and God spoke to Julie and said, hey, let Connie know about this technology. And she did, and it literally saved my life. It not only got me out of the wheelchair and helped my physical body, but it got me out of bed
Mm,
and back into life
yeah.
so that I could reconnect. Because when you're in alignment with why you're here, I'm just going to tell you, life works a lot easier. you know? Now, is it easy? No. Like, coming today's March 12th, March 16th is coming up. It'll be 6 years. And I miss him every day.
Yeah.
And I still have the capacity to live in my fullest self expression
Hmm.
in honor of him. I don't want my story to be her son died and it destroyed her life. That's not what Nicholas would want,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so yeah, I hear him. It's always on the left side. I don't know why. I hear him on my
Yeah.
left
Me,
ear.
it's the right side.
Okay.
Right side for me. Yeah. Yeah. Because
Well, my
I
mom
can
is on my
feel it
right
all.
side, which is so my left side is Nicholas and then the right side is my mom. And
Oh,
God just kind of I hear it like kind of in the middle. And that's the only voices in my head other than, I tell my clients we have the itty bitty shitty committee right here. It
wow.
tells us
Yeah.
that you're all the noise that doesn't is that not the truth. Our survival brain and all. So like I got my committee that I like say thank you for sharing. What's next? Move aside.
Yeah.
Um, but
So
yeah, I hear
beautiful.
it on my
Yeah.
left side.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I can tell that you've done so much healing and you're doing exactly what he would have wanted you to do, to carry on because all of us are here on a mission. The longer we take, I keep coming back to the same, here. And I just plan on getting things done. It's gonna be hard. The ego's gonna get in the way, the flesh is in the way. My gosh, does it hurt to be in pain? I live with pain, but I'm still gonna do life.
We need to talk. We need to talk because I work with clients over Zoom
Mm.
and help them. The software can do so many things, and I would say my specialty areas are helping people remove pain and anxiety.
Oh, yes, we'll talk after this for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, before I let you go, do you have anything else you'd like to share? Any projects you're working on?
Well, I am working on my newest project. I'm working on is I'm releasing a summit, and it's a virtual summit at the end of April, and it's called the Soulful High Achiever Reset. So, it's for those of us who look like we've done everything right. Like we've got the education, and we've got the career or the business, and we've done the family thing, and we've done all these things, and but yet there's still something missing. Like, why are we not blissfully happy? Because we've done everything we quote should do, and
Hmm.
there's still some pieces that are missing. And so I'm bringing a group of experts together, and we're going to do a virtual summit and address some of those things, like what could be the missing piece, and so that's the next project that I'm working on.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Well, two questions for you. The first one is, what is the meaning of life for you?
For me, the meaning of life is to fulfill on why I'm here, and like what was the agreement that I had with God to come into this body, and what was the soul contract that I made. And there's 8 billion people on the planet, and like I have it that most people are not in alignment with those things. And like if there has ever been a time in the history of humanity that people need to rise up and live their soul purpose, it's now. Like we need everyone, like let's
Yeah.
go. So to me, the meaning of life is fulfilling upon that reason why, that soul contract that you have to begin with.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Where can people find you and connect with you and work with you?
Yeah, so I actually recently got divorced, and I changed my last name. I changed my whole name. So my name is Connie Nicole Rose now. Nicole is after Nicholas, and Rose was after my mother, and Rose Oil. And also my name is a sentence, Connie Rose.
Mm.
So because I've been through some things, right, and throughout it all, I'm able to write. So Connie Rose, and so I have a website, Connie Rose Official .com, and all of the things that I do are on ConnieRoseOfficial.com.
Awesome. Well, Connie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Thank you for
Thanks for
sharing and thank
having
you for
me.
everything that you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.